We're making the best version of the viral zucchini cheese sandwich wraps that are low carb and fun to make. We're layering zucchini slices, mozzarella cheese, and everything bagel seasoning and baking until toasty. Hello, my name is Nicole Bonilla, and if you love healthier recipes to our favorite foods, then you are in the right place. To make this really easy flatbread, we're going to start by slicing our zucchini. Now you could thinly slice it by hand, or a mandolin makes it really easy, and the pieces are very uniform in thickness. So I'm just going to slice off the end of my zucchini, and then I'm going to slice these right onto my paper towel. And I just have my thickness set to about 1/8 of an inch. Now you're welcome to jot down these ingredients as we go along, or you can click on the link that's in the video description below, and that will take you to the full recipe with all the details, nutrition facts, substitutions, and frequently asked questions. Now that our zucchinis are sliced, you can see that they're full of a lot of water. Now a really important tip is to go ahead and squeeze out some of that excess water. So I'm just going to spread these out onto my paper towel and then just roll it up on itself. Give it a nice gentle squeeze or press. And I can feel my paper towel getting nice and damp, which is extracting the water. Now to bake these wraps, I've just taken my cookie sheet and then lined it with a piece of parchment paper, and that's going to make cleanup super easy. Now you can use any cheese that you like, but I found that mozzarella cheese works really well. So I just shredded up about 3 ounces of cheese, and I do recommend buying the block of cheese and shredding it yourself, because if you buy pre-shredded cheese, it has been coated in cellulose to keep it from sticking together, and it doesn't melt down quite as smoothly as a block of cheese will. Now another great tip I have for these wraps is to put a little layer of cheese underneath the zucchini, and then we'll put the rest on top of the zucchini layer. So I found that putting a little bit of cheese on the bottom just kind of helps to glue it all together. And then we can unroll our zucchini, and then we'll just start layering them across the cheese. And you can make them as large or as small as you like, but you will want to make sure that every slice is slightly overlapping the other. Now zucchini does not have a lot of flavor on its own, and mozzarella cheese is also kind of subtle in flavor. So to add some really delicious flavor, I have 2 options that taste amazing. One is to use some Italian seasoning, and the other is to use some everything bagel seasoning. And when I tested this recipe with both, my family preferred the everything bagel seasoning. Now if you are going to use the Italian seasoning, you'll want to sprinkle on a little bit of salt first, but if you're using the everything bagel seasoning, it already has garlic salt in it, so I found I really didn't need to add any additional salt. So I'm just going to sprinkle on about 1/2 teaspoon on each of these wraps, and then we can add the rest of our cheese. Well, these look fantastic, and they're ready to go into a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes, or until the cheese on top is nice and toasted. But you'll want to keep an eye on it because that time could vary depending on the type of cheese that you use and your specific oven. Well, here's the wraps after they baked and allowed to cool on my counter for about 5 minutes, and they look so good. As you can see, the cheese acted like glue in holding all those zucchinis together. So now they're ready to load up with our favorite sandwich toppings, fold over, and enjoy. Or you can just enjoy them as is. That is so good. That has the best flavor with that everything bagel seasoning, and the zucchini is really flavorful, and cheese pretty much just makes everything better. And I love that this is a fun way to enjoy a sandwich wrap, but without the carbs and the gluten. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen. I've included a link to the full recipe, and it's in the video description below, and that will take you to my website, gentletummy.com. And I also invite you to like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I cannot wait to have you join me again in my kitchen.